Dear students, from the chapter Instrumental Methods, the next point is spectrophotometry. Uh, in that, we are going to study different interaction of electromagnetic radiation with matter. So, in this chapter or in this point, there is an absorption and emission spectroscopy. So, what is mean by this spectroscopy? So, is the study of interaction of matter with electromagnetic radiation. So, in spectroscopy, we study the interaction of matter with the electromagnetic radiation. When electromagnetic radiation interacted with any substance or compound, they gives response in terms of a graph or in terms of values. So, by use of these graphs, we can determine the structure of that molecule. When radiation is incident on atoms and molecules, a part of it is absorbed and rest is transmitted. Means when radiation is incident on atoms and molecules, a part of it is absorbed, some part of the light is get absorbed and some rest of that is transmitted. The radiation absorbed by a molecule is used for performing different types of motion in the molecule. So when a molecule absorbs radiation, these molecules, the bonds in the molecule undergoes different types of motion. The amount of radiation absorbed depends on the concentration of absorbing species in solution. So how much amount of compound is present in the solution is directly proportional to the amount of radiation absorbed. This absorption of radiation can be used to determine the chemical structure of absorbing species. Means how much amount of light is absorbed is used for the determination of structure of this absorbing species. Thus, spectroscopy can be considered as an important tool for the chemical analysis of molecules. So, this is very important branch concerning about the analysis of compounds. Radiation travels in the form of waves. So you know the wave has a dual nature. A wave associated with three important wave properties. The wave has a wavelength, frequency nu, and the wave number nu bar, which are correlated by the equation below here. See here. So this is nu is equal to c upon lambda. So nu is nothing but the frequency, c is the velocity of light, and lambda is the wavelength of that light. Again, nu is equal to c into wave number, that is nu bar. So wave number and lambda are inversely proportional to each other. So we can write below a wave number is equal to 1 by a lambda, that is wavelength. So this wave number and wavelength are inversely proportional to each other. So this is the equation. Nu is equal to c upon lambda. C is nothing but the velocity of light. So this c into wave number is also, we can calculate the frequency by use of this equation. So this is the simple equation by use of which we can calculate the frequency or we can calculate the wavelength. So from this equation you will know that the frequency and wavelength are also inversely proportional to each other. So there are different terms in this point. The first is energy of light. So for exactly the energy of particular wavelength of light has contained, we will see here. The electromagnetic spectrum extends from low energy radio waves to the high energy X-rays and gamma rays. So what is meant by electromagnetic spectrum? So this electromagnetic spectrum is nothing but the light waves are arranged in such a way that they are arranged from low energy to high energy or from low wavelength to high wavelength, high frequency to low frequency. So these whole spectrum of the light is known as an electromagnetic spectrum. So in the electromagnetic spectrum, gamma rays have more energy than radio waves. So highest energy containing radiation, the electromagnetic spectrum, is the gamma rays. So the wavelength of this gamma rays extends from 10 raised to minus 2 to 10 raised to minus 1 nanometer. The second wave is X-rays. So below the gamma rays, the X-ray is there. X-ray has lower energy than gamma rays. So wavelength is from 10 raised to minus 1 or 0.1 to 10 nanometer. The vacuum ultraviolet. So UV radiation is differentiated into two parts. One is vacuum UV, another one is UV. So in vacuum UV, the wavelength of this light comes under 10 to 200 nanometer. In case of UV radiation, it is 200 to 380 nanometer. So visible light, we see because of this visible light, and the wavelength of this visible light is from 380 nanometer to 780 nanometer. So again, infrared radiation is there. So visible light has more energy than IR. So IRs are again differentiated into three parts. One is near, second one is middle, and the third part of that IR radiation is far infrared radiation. So near infrared radiation, the wavelength of this radiation is from 780 to 1000 maybe is there. 1003 nanometer. From 103 to 104 nanometer. The next is in microwaves. So the wavelength of this microwave is extend from, so there is a mistake here. The wavelength of infrared radiation is 10 raised to 3. So from 10 raised to 3 to 10 raised to 4, from 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 5 nanometer. So now see here, the wavelength of this IR radiation is more than the wavelength of visible or wavelength of UV radiations. If you see the microwaves here, the wavelength of this microwave is 4 into 10 raised to 5 to 2.5 into 10 raised to 8 nanometer. The wavelength is more here. In case of radio waves, the wavelength of this radio waves is more than all the radiations. It is from 2.5 into 10 raised to minus 8 nanometer above. So if you see this electromagnetic spectrum, gamma ray has lower wavelength and radio waves has highest wavelength, means the energy goes on decreases from gamma rays to radio waves because of the increase in wavelength. If you see this equation, that is nu is equal to C upon lambda. If the wavelength of radiation is more, then frequency is lower, means radio wave has more wavelength, then it is mean that the radio waves have lower frequency than gamma rays. So more the frequency, more is the energy. Lesser the frequency, lower is the energy. So in electromagnetic spectrum, the highest energy radiation is gamma rays, the lowest radiation energy is the radio waves. The UV visible and IR regions are widely used in spectroscopic studies, as these radiations are absorbed by different types of molecules. So the most of spectroscopies are in most of spectroscopies we use UV visible and IR radiations widely because different types of molecules absorb these all radiations. So next point is Planck's quantum theory of radiation. So what it mean, quantum theory? So now see here, the absorption of radiation by molecules obey Planck's quantum theory of radiation. Now see here, absorption of radiation by molecules obey Planck's quantum theory of radiation. So we must know what is Planck's quantum theory. Now see here, according to this theory, the emission and absorption of energy takes place not in a continuous manner but in discrete installments called quanta. Means the emission and absorption of energy by a molecule takes place not in a continuous manner but in a discrete manner, that is in terms of quanta. So even the propagation of energy through space is discontinuous and takes place in quanta. Quanta means photon. So this is Planck's quantum theory. So according to this theory, any energy wave or any wave is nothing but it is an energy wave, and the emission or absorption of this energy by a molecule takes place in continuous manner but in discrete manner called as quanta. Each quantum, that is quantum means photon, can be considered as a packet of energy equal to h nu. So nu is frequency, where h is the Planck's constant 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule into second, and nu is the frequency of energy of radiation in hertz. So this is a second inverse. So now see here, the energy in quantum is nothing but the energy of a single photon is nothing but E is equal to h nu. So we know that nu is the frequency, and the frequency and wavelength are inversely proportional, therefore nu is equal to c upon lambda. If I write this equation in terms of E is equal to, so in the next, okay, I will write here E is equal to h nu and is equal to h c upon lambda. We can also write this equation as this nu is inversely proportional to the wavelength. So these are the three equations you must know. E is equal to h nu. Nu is nothing but c upon lambda. You can put here. So E is equal to h c upon lambda. H is Planck's constant, c is velocity of light, and lambda is the wavelength of that radiation. So in an exam they may ask you calculate the energy of different radiations, or they will give you a wavelength. You have to calculate the energy of that radiation. So one example is there: calculate the energy associated with a quantum of IR radiation of lambda 1240 nanometer. They have given the velocity of light 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Planck's constant is 6.625 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule second. So from this question we have to solve the problem. So they have given the wavelength. So we know the equation nu is equal to c upon lambda. We know the c, you can calculate the frequency. If you know the frequency, then we have equation E is equal to h nu. So by putting the value of h and nu, you can easily calculate the energy of that IR radiation associated with a lambda of 1240 nanometer. So the energy, so the solution now see here, the energy in quantum is given as E is equal to h nu or is equal to h c upon lambda. So we know that lambda is in terms of nanometer, it is converted into meter, 10 raised to minus 9 meter. Now putting these values in equation, E is equal to h nu. So h is a Planck's constant, c is a velocity of light, and divided by it is 1240 into 10 raised to minus 9 meter, that is a wavelength. So we have used this equation to calculate the energy of radiation. So this is the equation I will write here the equation. So this is what we have used here to calculate the energy of that radiation. H you know, C you know, and divided by lambda. So we have an value that is 1.603 into 10 raised to minus 19 joule. We have calculated by use of this equation the energy of that specific wavelength of radiation. Second, calculate the energy associated with radiation of wave numbers. Now they have given the wave number 1.4 into 10 raised to 10 raised to 5 per meter. So they have given the velocity, they have given the Planck constant. So the energy is the quanta, and now we know that E is equal to h nu, and we know that nu is nothing but C upon lambda, and lambda and wave number are inversely proportional. Therefore we have written the equation h c nu bar. So wave number is nothing but nu bar. So therefore E is equal to Planck's constant, C velocity of light, and nu bar it is 1.4 into 10 raised to 5. So by using these values we can calculate the energy of radiation, that is, and we have calculated it is 2.7 into 10 raised to minus 20 joule okay, one and extra I added here, joule. So this is what the first point, the term of electromagnetic radiation. First is energy of that light. So depending upon the wavelength or frequency, the energy of the specific radiation is different. The next is radiant power P. So what it mean by radiant power? Radiant power P is the energy of the radiation that reaches a given area per second. So radiant power is nothing but it is the energy of that radiation, the radiation which reaches a given area per second. So that is nothing but the radiant power. So third one is intensity of light. So intensity of light, I, is defined as the number of photons of radiation incident per unit area per unit time. Means number of photons of radiation incident per unit area per unit time. So how much number of, if more the number of photons incident per unit area per unit time, then the intensity of that light is more. It is necessary to differentiate between energy and intensity of radiation. We must know what is energy and what is intensity. Intensity is measured in terms of number of photons incident per unit area per unit time. How much number of photons are incident per unit area per unit time, that is nothing but the intensity, and is independent of the frequency and wavelength of incident radiation. Energy is given by the term h nu, and hence depends on the frequency and wavelength of radiation. Means intensity does not depend upon the frequency or wavelength, but energy depends upon the frequency. If you change the frequency or wavelength, the energy of that radiation may changes. So fourth point is polychromatic and monochromatic light. Poly means that is many number of, chroma means color, so more number of colors. Mono means single colored light. A polychromatic beam of light contains radiation with several wavelengths. For example, white light has several wavelengths in the range of 380 to 780 nanometer, that is visible light. Violet light has wavelength in the range of 380 to 435 nanometer. A beam of red light has wavelength is in the range of 650 to 780. But now see here, a monochromatic beam has radiation of a single wavelength, single colored, single wavelength. For example, a violet beam of wavelength lambda 395 nanometer, a red beam of wavelength 700 nanometer. Monochromatic beams are produced by using special devices called as monochromators. So monochromatic beams, that is single wavelength light, are produced by use of monochromator. So fifth one is wavelength of maximum absorption, that is lambda max. Spectroscopic analysis of a substance is carried out using radiation of a particular wavelength which is absorbed to the maximum extent. this wavelength is called as lambda max of the substance. Now see here, when a substance absorbs radiation of a particular wavelength maximum extent, so that wavelength is known as an lambda max. Other wavelengths either may not absorb or absorb minimally. The constituent structural groups in a molecule also absorb their own characteristic wavelength, means each specific functional group absorbs specific radiation, thus specific radiation wavelength of radiation. Thus a substance may show strong absorption of several wavelengths depending on its structure. Now see this table. The carboxylic acid functional group in case of acetic acid absorb, that is, it shows the lambda max value 208. The acyl chloride, acetyl chloride molecule, they shows a lambda max value 220 nanometer. Amide shows at 178. NO2 group shows at 201, that is lambda max of this NO2. Azomethane has lambda max 338. Carbonyl group in case of acetaldehyde, it is 290 nanometer. From the acetone, it shows a lambda max value 189. It is possible to identify a particular group of a molecule, in a molecule by determining its lambda max value. In spectrophotometers, monochromatics are used to produce monochromatic beams of the required wavelength. These beams are incident on a sample which then absorb its characteristic wavelength to the maximum extent. Means lambda max is nothing but the maximum extent, that is the molecule which absorbs a wavelength maximum extent, so that lambda is nothing but the lambda max. So these are the terms of the light, that is energy of light, radiant power, incident intensity of light, polychromatic and monochromatic, and the fifth one is wavelength maxima, that is lambda max value. So in the next point we will study theory of Beer-Lambert's law.